Hey guys, it's Laura from HarassedMom. So a lot of you have been asking me how our homeschool journey has been going. So we are 1 month in, and I thought I would just share with you guys how it's been going. Some of the positives, some of the negatives, yeah, and just how we're all finding it. So for those of you perhaps watching me for the first time, we are homeschooling my 14-year-old. She's doing grade 10. Jack is 7, and Emma will be 5 in 2 weeks. So we're kind of doing grade R-ish with Emma, and Jack's doing a bit of grade 1 and grade 2 together. So we started unofficially the first week before schools actually went back, and just sort of to get into a routine. And yeah, it's been an interesting month. Kiara's probably fitted into the whole thing the easiest. She's started going through her books on her own. She's doing visual arts and design as her two choice subjects. She seems to be enjoying it. She works and then she chills and then she works, and then yeah, so it's going well with her. She does every now and again she gets a bit bored, and then we find some courses for her to do and stuff like that, but overall I think she's actually doing really well. Jack and Emma, they actually surprised me. Emma, I thought I was going to struggle with. I thought she was going to be the one who was just not really going to play along, but the opposite had happened. She comes to me and asks me if she can do work. We do our serious work in the morning, our concentration work in the morning, and often in the afternoon she'll come and she'll be like, please, can she do some more book work? Can she do her number book or her whiteboard book? So yeah, that's been a bit of a challenge, and obviously she seems to enjoy the book work a lot more than Jack. Jack does not want to work in a book at all. I've got some worksheets that I've printed out for him. He's not even too keen on those. So he's been a bit of a struggle trying to just get him in to find what works for him and how it's best gonna work, because I don't really want to sit down and have a fight with him every morning. Some mornings it's fine and you'll sit down and you'll do it and you'll get through it, but there's a lot of mornings where he's just like not interested. It's not that he doesn't know the stuff, he just doesn't want to sit down and do it. We have discovered that animals, particularly reptiles and that kind of thing, are his vibe. So I'm trying to do lessons around that and to use that in our lessons. It works until it doesn't, and then he gets upset again and he doesn't want to do it. So he's been a bit of a challenge, but we're taking it slow, and we're just trying to figure out what is the best way to teach him, because it's clearly not in a book. He likes to be up and moving around, watching YouTube videos. He loves the arts and crafts that we're doing, the painting, the drawing, science experiments, those kind of things he's all up for. But obviously we can't just be doing that all day. So often it's, you know, let's get your bookwork done and then we can move on to the fun stuff, which has been fun. For me it's been fun because obviously, you know, it's things that I probably wouldn't have done with them if they were at school. The science experiments, the art projects, those kind of things that we do every day. So that's been a lot of fun to do with them, and to just, you know, be creative and let them go crazy. But yeah, it has taken some adjusting, and I think it's a whole shift in both my mindset and David's, because they're not sitting for 7 hours doing work like they would at school or in an environment where they're sitting in a controlled setting. We do 2 hours of work with them in the morning, where it's not full. They obviously get up and they move around, but that's when I don't do work. We sit and we read, and we do learn about the country that they've chosen. We do some book work, we do maths, we do our science experiments. It often does include watching a YouTube video on whatever we're learning about. So And then for the rest of the day, they're kind of doing free play. They're allowed to watch a bit of TV. So their actual learning is not, it's not like a structured sit down and learn all day. Which David initially was kind of like not sure that they were getting enough, but I do have, we're not following a boxed curriculum, so we're kind of just winging it, but I have an outline, a core outline of what they should be learning at each age, and I kind of focus on that and, you know, introduce those things as we're going along. I didn't plan much in January, which was a mistake. While I don't necessarily feel like we need to have rigid structure, I do need a plan of this is what we're going to do today, and everything needs to be set up before we start, because what's happening, I was, you know, sitting down with them and then trying to get the worksheets and trying to get the experiments going. So now I get up before them anyway, and I get everything ready so that when they sit down, everything's ready. They just need to take their pack of worksheets or their book or whatever they're doing, and we can go on. So now I've planned out the whole of February, what topics we're gonna be covering, and I think it's gonna go. It started off so far this week a lot better. We've also started now getting out and doing some socialization a little bit. There is so much happening in the homeschooling space. We actually can't keep up. There's just no way. If I had to say yes to everything that was going on, we would literally be busy doing an activity every single day. And they're not activities like, oh, let's all meet at the park and go for a jolt. It's like, okay, this mom, like last week we did a solar oven experiment with the mom who hosted. She showed us how to build a solar oven, she showed us how to use it. She told the kids that they needed to write down you know, what was happening and then send it through to her. And then today there was a falconry lesson, and there's walks at the zoo, and there's lessons on clouds, and there's scuba diving stuff. And so there's a lot of fun stuff, but there's also a lot of educational stuff where a mom who is good at that specific topic or it interests her, she then offers like a lesson of sorts, but it's a very practical lesson where the kids actually are getting involved and doing an experiment or going on a nature walk or something like that. So we've started doing that, which is really fun. It also gets the kids out the house and amongst other children who are being homeschooled. And they are very active with sports, both of them. They do gymnastics, horse riding, swimming, and Emma does ballet. So every day, every afternoon, basically, except Friday, they are busy with something. So yeah, we are not bored. They are not bored. They are not lacking in anything to do. We're kind of figuring out our days still. You know, it's still a bit of a struggle here and there. But I think overall, we're all finding the adjustment is going quite well. I personally don't think that I would ever be able to put them back into school. Just seeing what we've been able to achieve and what they've been able to learn, that I don't think we would have had the time to learn had they been in school. And obviously this is not the point of this is not to, you know, be anti-school. It's just, you know, like Jack asked how animated movies were made, for example, and we went into a little rabbit hole of YouTube videos on watching how animated videos are made, and now he's busy drawing his own animated movies, drawing the pictures, you know, like in the flip book that you flip, he's busy drawing it, and he's created a whole story of a movie that he potentially wants to draw, you know, which, I mean, we might have found out about that, but we wouldn't have necessarily had they all been in school, had the time to sit and watch for 2-3 hours, you know, how this process happens, what goes into it. And he certainly wouldn't have had the time or the inclination, I think, to do this because, you know, school just gets so busy and there's just no time for them to do much else. So that for me has been one of the big positives, is just to see how much of world stuff they've been able to learn. All three of them. I mean, often Kiara will come, and we did China last month, and then we'll sit around the table and I'll read books and we'll YouTube videos, and she'll come and she'll join in and she'll watch the videos. And so, you know, it's stuff that they wouldn't have necessarily been exposed to, which I'm really enjoying, and I think they're really enjoying it. So yeah, it's not easy. I still, every day I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Are they learning enough? Am I going to be able to get them through? But apparently these feelings are normal. And yeah, I just think it's been an experience for all of us, and I'm excited to keep going and for us to keep growing together. I mean, I've learned so much. I mean, like, Jack's busy doing nouns, and I know what a noun is. I can write a noun and I know how to use a noun in a sentence, but how do I explain a noun to a 7-year-old, and why do you need a noun? And so, you know, I've had to kind of also go back and try and learn those things and learn how to explain them to him, which is also not a bad thing, to also just refresh yourself on those kind of things. So yeah, it's been exciting, and I think it's been great for Emma specifically. She is currently reading all her AM words. Her letter writing has gotten a lot better. I'm not pushing her, just before everybody starts freaking out, because she is not even 5 yet. This is all her coming to me, asking me to please, can she do this? She wants to do it. She's capable of doing it. When we go through the bonds, Jack's bonds, she can do bonds up to 10. She's still struggling with certain numbers, like number 5, she really struggles with, but she's able to do the sum. And the writing now is her next challenge, because she wants to be able to read. She wants to be able to know what's going on. So we do a letter of the week, and yeah, she's getting there, and she just wants to go. Whatever we do, if there's a book that I buy for her, then she wants to finish the book. And if David's mom has got them the math seeds and English eggs, or whatever the program's called, and she just flies through that. So I think that's also been nice, is that I can just sort of leave her to do that if that's what she wants to do. But she does get tired, and then there will be like 2 days where she'll just power through work, and she's reading and she's writing and she's going on, and then she'll be like, nope, not today. And then we just leave her. We encourage her to do some free play, and do some fine motor skill stuff with her, things like that. Otherwise she can just chill, because yeah. So yeah, if anybody has any questions specifically around this that you want to ask, or that you want to find out that I haven't covered here, please ask me. This is a subject that I've become quite passionate about. The community, the homeschooling community in South Africa is growing. It's massive. I haven't once felt that I've had a question that I've needed to ask and nobody's been able to answer it for me. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of moms out there who are so willing and eager to share their stories, their information, and offer help and guidance for those of us who are struggling a little bit as to what to do. So if you have any questions, please ask. Yeah, but I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Yeah, until next time, it's Laura from Harassed Mom.